new building there, isn't it?
So you've got the red brick building, the old post office, which is being converted into apartments. And then directly across the road you've got Kyo's, which was recently sold, and that's believed to be getting converted into apartments.
And what would be the major problem in this town that you would find, Garret?
The major problem is the amount of foreign nationals that have been moved in comparison to the size of the population of the town. They have taken up every piece of available accommodation and done it in such a way that the prices are being driven up, and the Irish aren't being given any supports to afford these houses.
And what do you think is the best solution then?
The best solution is first to enforce the laws we currently have under our immigration and not allow our government to bring in any new legislation that gives them power to dictate who can and cannot come into our country. The rules are clear. If you don't have a passport, you don't get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the moment, our authorities are subverting that whole process, as it's documented, that it's in the media, that so many undocumented people have arrived in the country. People don't just arrive in our country. We're an island. People fly into our country or they come in by boat, both of which have guarded checkpoints. I've been through them myself.
Yeah. And like, considering we're the most western country in Europe,
well,
the amount of countries that they have to come through just to get here.
They're travelling through every Eastern European country to get here, because this is Treasure Island. This is where they get everything handed to them and they don't have to work for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My children are going to have to work to pay for what we're giving these people in 20 years' time.
And you're in a bit of a housing crisis yourself at the moment.
I'm in a housing crisis, which again is not of our own making. We have been renting privately for the last 5 years. We found out recently that our landlord has been in litigation with the banks and has lost control of the house, but yet has been collecting rent off us. And I asked him for an updated lease, and he can no longer furnish me with a lease because he doesn't own the house anymore.
Right.
So now we're looking at being evicted, and we've had foreign nationals every week call to our house telling us that if they find the house empty, they're going to change the locks. We have it on video and we've reported it to the Garda station in Longford. 10 reports in 9 months, and not so much as a pulse number or a follow-up.
So you see the problems here. You're in a housing crisis at the moment. You have non-nationals knocking on your door, telling you that when you're gone, they're going to take your house off.
Yeah, and the housing crisis makes our matter worse because we have no lease. Social welfare refused to give us our basic entitlements.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've chosen to homeschool our children, and in exercising that right, we found out that Tulsa will come after you with everything they have without reason.
And you've been through the courts with Tulsa.
I've been through the courts with Tulsa. I've argued my case. The judge in Roscommon agreed my case carries weight. But unfortunately...
And just to explain exactly what is your case with Tulsa?
My case with Tulsa is I won't sign an unconstitutional form. A form that gives them access to my rights and my household.
Yeah.
They're subverting the process. Basically, all I need to do is inform them that I am educating my children at home. And in view of actual conditions, I can send them a written summary as to what I intend to do. But what they look for is your signature to allow them to come to your house, to inspect your house, to take your children away and have your children assessed at somewhere other than your family home. Well, how is that respecting my right as a parent to choose how I educate my children?
Do you feel that's overstepping your constitutional rights as a parental to say what I teach morally to my young child is down to the parents and the parents only?
Yes. Because
and that Roderick O'Gorman, who has signed in these new laws to go after families who are homeschooling, is a complete overreach.
Well, this is our exact issue, is that we have the ideas of less than 1% of the population being pushed on every child in every school. And in some cases, teachers are instructed not to inform the parents that this is in the curriculum.
Yeah.
This has been announced in the Irish Teachers Union address. They've put videos up. There's videos regularly available on social media. We've got politicians at the moment that are turning an absolute blind eye to everything that is going on. I have seen iPass centres being announced through social media, only to see local councillors and senators show up with a concerned look on their face and walk off and do nothing.
Yeah. They're not even showing up in many cases.
In some
like,
cases,
you know?
they're not showing up. It's purely a photo op, and I think the Irish people, as a nation, we're just starting to realise enough is enough.
Yeah.
This can't be putting the long finger anymore. This needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be dealt with today. We need to stop the mass immigration. We need to stop the destruction of our culture.
Yeah. And that's why you're running in the local elections across Longford.
I'll be your local candidate here in Longford town. I'm running in the Longford Municipal District. My name is Garret McKendry. I am simply a father of 5 boys, and I don't know how I'm going to provide for my kids in 10 years' time when everybody around me is being given roofs and everything else for free. I have to pay the extortionate bills to feed my family. I have to go without to feed my boys. And as a father, that's always going to be my first choice. But I'm being forced down this road because we can't make ends meet, because we don't get all the handouts that everybody else seems to be getting.
And you're out campaigning now a couple of weeks. How are you finding the reception?
I'm not a public speaker. I didn't want to be doing this. I'd rather just kept my private life to myself. But I'm out doing it now, and the only thing that keeps me going now is the fact that for every 10 I meet the handful of people that are actually approaching me instead of me approaching them.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, you're who's running. Brilliant. Thank goodness. It's great to put a name to the face, and likewise.
You've had your boards now around the place
the boards
for
get really
a couple of weeks.
Attention. Really, really good attention.
Yeah.
We put them in some very iconic spots around the town and in and out of the town. And that is my main comment I get from social media and people I meet here on the street is, we've seen the boards, they're fantastic.
Brilliant. Best of luck in
Thank
the
you very
locals.
much, Andy, and thanks for all the support, and let's see if we can do things right this time around.